Hi, this is the Space Kraken. So it's a plane that's first made for looks and then for performance secondary. So it really looks cool in my opinion. You have these fins here which are quite dramatic, and then here on the side as well, these really aggressive shapes, aggressive fins on the back. And the thing about this plane is I couldn't really get to fly it as it was with just paper. But once I added the PowerUp system, it flew pretty well. So I can't really compare it to any other planes. This is the first time I used the PowerUp. So if I can get it to fly, anyone can. Hi, the paper size I'm using is A3, but you can just tape together two A4 plates as well. And the cool thing about taping two sheets together is that you can use two different colors if you choose to. So that's kind of a nice effect, and could also theoretically help you orient the plane if you get easily confused, and you can easier see which direction it's flying. And you want to use 80 gram. I tested it with 120 grams and it wouldn't really fly. It could just barely hover above the ground, but it couldn't gain any altitude. So maybe you can get away with 100 gram, but I think 80 grams is recommended. I'm going to start by folding the paper this way, and it helps if you leave a tiny gap between the tape, between the two sheets, so about 0.5 millimeter, and that's gonna make this fold a bit easier, because else it's just gonna wrinkle. So start by doing that, and then we're going to fold the corner, and you want to take the closed side and fold it towards the open side. So go like this. Try to be really precise here. And that looks good. I'm just gonna enhance this crease and then reverse it. Okay, now we're going to squash fold this flap. You want to make sure this corner stays together like this. And then just land the center crease on this edge. Maybe 1 millimeter over there to account for the paper thickness. And do it like so. Now put the paper on that squash fold that you just made. And then we're going to squash fold this flap. And here you want to make sure it's symmetrical, so land this on the center crease. And then here the corners might not align perfectly so this layer might not align perfectly with the corner, so it depends a bit on the paper thickness and whatnot, but just try to have both sides kind of the same. And now we're going to fold this corner towards this layer here behind these flaps, so that's your reference mark. So just fold it over there, and it should look something like this. Now flip over the paper. We're going to fold the front corner towards this flap behind, actually. So not all the way to the center crease, but use this flap as a reference. Like this. And then fold this towards your previous crease, leaving about 1 millimeter of space. Then open those creases, and we're just gonna do the same thing but behind this flap. So just remake those creases. And that's going to become our wing. Do the same on the other side. Fold towards that crease, leaving about 1 millimeter. Open it up and repeat the creases behind this flap. Alright, so now we're just going to fold this corner towards the center crease. Like this. Do the same on the other side. Now flip over the paper. You have here this little pocket, just pull on it all the way and pull this layer over the leading edge of your wing, like this. And then just flatten this. Do the same on the other side, so pull and flatten. Like so. Now we're gonna take this corner and just fold it behind itself. And if it helps you, you can pull it all the way here first. Make this crease and then just reverse that crease. Something like this. It doesn't have to be exact, but just keeps everything together a bit more nicely. Now we're just going to crease the wings over this edge, and that's going to allow us to angle them slightly upwards for extra stability. Like this. Now we're going to make the winglets, and you just want to fold this here to where this layer intersects the layer above. So something like this. And again, you can make it a bit smaller if you want, but just try to have it the same on both sides. Like this. We're almost finished. We're just going to make the fins here. So you want to fold to where this layer intersects the leading edge. You want to make it straight, so just you can either look that this line is parallel to this line, or just that this line continues here on this little flap. So something like this should be good. Same on the other side. Then just stand up these fins straight. And now we're going to make the tail fins by just folding this edge towards this intersection. This one moved slightly. Like so. And do the same on the other side here. Okay. Now all we need to do is install the PowerUp tool itself and set some up elevator. So you want to add some up elevator here next to the tail fins on both sides. And it's possible that you need even more, so you want to add a lot actually. And if you need even more, then you can bend these flaps up as well. And what you want to do is slide this over the nose, and it helps if you fold the plane a bit upwards around the center crease, and that should help slide it in a bit more easily. Like so. And push it as far as it will go to make sure that the rotors are away from the tail fins. So that's how far this goes. And then make sure this is nicely aligned with the middle of the plane. And then just add a piece of tape here in the back, like this. And you're finished, so just make sure these fins are nice and vertical here. These ones as well, and bend the wings slightly upwards. Make sure to add plenty of up elevator. If you want to trim to the left or the right, you can do this here on these tail fins. And if you need even more, then you can do this here as well, but you probably don't need that because the PowerUp itself stabilizes it pretty well. So I hope you like this plane and have fun flying it.